right, everyone. Good night, good evening, good morning, wherever time zone you're in. And you're tuning in to the Chit Chat 2 Show with your co-host Uno and...
How's everybody doing? Good day, everybody around the world, globally. Your other co-host, Jade. We're really happy that you guys decided to join us. We might have to change up some hours on our show.
Right.
So that we can be more effective to those who tune in at the time that we give. For some reason, our energies, we wind up getting here after the time, but nevertheless, we still give you a good show. So we'd like to welcome you on this Monday, December the 11th, 2017. We're almost out of this year. In 2 weeks, it'll be that Christmas thing going on. I don't do Christmas, but to each his own. I do Kwanzaa because I believe the principles of Kwanzaa, you should imply or you should use them 365 days out of a year. So I like the principles of Kwanzaa. That's what I'm going to be focused more on. Doing those 7 days of principle year round. So anywho, we hope that everybody had a productive and nice weekend in Atlanta and the outskirts of Atlanta. People got anywhere from 2 inches up to maybe 12. I heard today about 12 inches today.
That's probably somewhere far up north somewhere in Georgia, because it's definitely not in the city. We didn't get that kind of snow.
Yes, we didn't get that kind of snow because...
the most would have been at least 4 inches, at least.
Yeah, I heard 4 inner city. So, even that's not bad to me. But I know, I'm just glad... No shade. Really just glad that the city did not shut down. The buses and the trains were running.
Life went on.
Life, yes, went on. There was no black ice or
I know you got a
like
tiff
that.
with all that, Jade.
I don't have a tiff. I'm just glad that the mayor decided as his exit that he finally did something for the city and had the city prepared for the dust to 4 inches in the city. Is no shade. He should get it together. It doesn't make a difference if you don't get it every year. The point is that the city has been shut down and he was not prepared and didn't do anything. I mean, you right is right and wrong is wrong. So I'm glad for that. I'm giving the man his props because
give me props.
This is his last year. He is exiting. He finally did something right with the city. Kudos for him.
Right. I mean, I don't care for him, but whatever. It's a whole nother story. Now you're gonna have your girl Keisha Bottoms. I congratulate the sister.
Keisha Lance Bottoms.
No, I just want to say I congratulate her.
Yeah.
I mean, no shade on her. Ain't no disrespect. I just hope that she live up to what she say she's gonna do as a mayor. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't care if she's black. What can she do for our people?
Right. And exactly what can she do for our people, as well as what can our people do for our people? We need to still be proactive, people.
Oh yeah.
Keisha Lance Bottoms is not the savior of all saviors. She cannot.
If y'all think so,
everything she can hit on things, and I hope that she listens to whatever the issues are at hand and come to a middle, providing that we in Atlanta be proactive as well to play our part also. Because kudos to her, and I'm definitely happy for her, but I'm gonna make it my promise
to be honest,
to do what I need to do.
To be honest, I mean, I don't really care.
She don't have no effect on me, to be honest.
I'm just being honest. I mean,
but I'm happy for her.
People gonna think they're gonna prejudge and have the objective view on what we said, but that's okay. I mean, I'm not gun ho and over the top excited. Like, I'm glad that she's in there because she's a black person and someone that can identify with us and have someone like us in the office. But at the same time, I'm not caught up in the hype. Like, you have to be realistic about things. I'm not taking to one side because you know, because they my own kind, but you know, because some people can be your people, but they're not your people. So you gotta be very mindful of that. So, like I said, the hell with her and what her color, what her color her skin is, and what race she represents. What can she do as a human being to help others? What can she do for our people? That's what I'm looking at right now.
All right. So off of Keisha and on to our show tonight. So we got another good, great, awesome show for you guys. We're doing awareness, and we're touching base on it because we want to make sure that we hit all 4 of them.
It shouldn't take long.
No, it shouldn't. Shouldn't take long because the girl is hungry, and my Uno is hungry too.
Yes.
Okay.
I had a little something, but that didn't hold me off.
I'm sipping on my moringa tea.
I want to jig your tea real quick because I'm over here being greedy, want to try it. So excuse me one. Though
she didn't offer me any of her yogurt raisins, but okay.
Would you like one?
No, it's too late. You should have offered.
Oh God, Jade, whatever.
I'm only playing, y'all. Hey.
I ain't got time for your stuff. That's good tea, by the way.
It is good. It is good. So try it out, y'all. Moringa tea.
Spell it out for them because they might be a little confused on how to.
I might be confused too on how to spell. Let me see. M-O-R.
Do I need to get the box with yourself?
Moringa. Rang.
How about
Moranga? Is that how we going for it?
It's right here. Hold on a second.
I want to say it's Moranga, but we're about to find out real quick. Then that's not it. We're about to go in real quick and find out. Okay, try it again. Moringa. Again, Moringa. Try moringa tea. I'm a tea person year round, not just the winter. I love teas. Coffee, not so much. So we're gonna go into this because Uno don't know how to act, and you guys can't see her, and I'm glad you cannot see her because we be cutting up now since y'all can't see us so much. But yeah. Moving forward, as my supervisor says, we're gonna jump in. Our first awareness is Hand Washing Awareness Week.
Boo!
Which started between December 3rd to the 10th, which was yesterday. But we still, hand washing, I know it sounds simple and it should be easy to do, but a lot of people don't properly do hand washing, and a lot of people just don't wash their hands, which is the nastiest thing to me. But I know
besides your hands, your mouth too.
Exactly.
The most nastiest places on your body is your hands and your mouth.
Exactly. So this is a quick tool to the Hand Washing Awareness Week, and it's coming from the henrythehand.com. Again, www.henrythehand.com.
Henry the Hand.
Henry the Hand. And it's from a Dr. Will Sawyer, infection prevention specialist. Henry the Hand Foundation. Spread the word, not the germs. Hashtag spread the word, not the germs. The Henry Hand Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization focused on promoting the 4 principles of hand awareness. We have created a hand hygiene behavior change program that uses positive deviance strategy to train both children and adults. We offer infection prevention toolkits for early childhood, preschools, classrooms, schools, home, hospitals, and a community service toolkit for older students to teach the youngsters. Check out our reinforcement tools that support the effectiveness of our programs so you, your family, school, business, and community can avoid respiratory and gastrointestinal illness ever again. The 4 principles of hand awareness were endorsed by the American Medical Association and American Academy of Family Physicians in 2001. 1. Wash your hands when they are dirty and before eating. 2. Do not cough into hands. 3. Do not sneeze into hands. 4. Above all, do not put your fingers in your eyes, nose, or mouth. And we all know small children tend to do that, but also we have some grown folks as well who put their hands in their eyes, nose, and mouth. They be digging in their nose, playing in their mouth, rubbing their eyes, coughing in their hands. We see it, sneezing in their hands, all of that. And as simple as it probably is to some people, it's very, very, because you can get respiratory issues. You can have respiratory issues. You
can mess around and catch the flu or get a cold if you're not
exactly.
careful.
Absolutely. We just tend to put our hands around our facial area, and we do that.
Because you can break out as well.
Exactly. You can break out around the lips and get a sore,
or your face,
or your eyes can get red or whatever. So it is important.
Yeah.
So I just want to read that little tad bit. They have other tools as well, or I should say links, such as there's a link to shop, programs, helpful tips, international events in the news, who are you videos, and of course FAQ if you have any questions, testimonials, and contact. Now see here I'm gonna hit this link, helpful tools. They have, let me see, I'm gonna click on the hand awareness and see what they have. They have a download here, and they also have a YouTube. You have to forgive me, I'm still healing from having this cold and being congested. So I'm doing it's a good day today. Excuse me. They have a download the fingernail cleanliness, which is also very important because the nail beds of our fingers can get dirty. So we have to make sure that they stay not only manicured properly, but that our fingernails that we clean, make sure that our fingernails are clean, whether they're long or short, whether you have your own regular nails or you have, the acrylic nails or the tips. We still have to make sure that they're clean, because if not, you can catch an infection. So believe it, it happens. The smallest little things that you'd be like, oh, nah, that's not going to happen. Yeah, it does.
It can happen.
So I wanted to see if this would pull up about the fingernails, keeping them clean. Ooh, okay. So they have, I'll read a little bit of it, and then at your leisure, this is going to be posted like we always do. You can always click on the link and read further about a lot of this, because it has 10 pages and I'm not. So this says introduction. The hands are the parts of the human body that are in most contact with the outside world. People use their hands for a variety of activities every day. It is extremely easy to come in contact with different microbes and to transfer them to other objects and maybe even people. Surprisingly, fingernails harbor the most bacteria found on the human hands. That's pretty much what I was saying, but they said it better. Description of the location and description. The human hands are two prehensile, multi-fingered body parts located at the end of each arm. Look like that's what it says. It's really small. Arm, yes. Normally a human has 5 digits on each hand, including the following: a thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and little finger. Fingertips are the areas of the human skin that possesses the highest concentration of touch receptors and thermoreceptors. These dense areas of nerve endings make the fingers extremely sensitive to heat, cold, pressure, vibration, texture, and moisture. Attached at the distal end of each finger is a fingernail. Anatomy of the fingernail. The fingernail is an important structure composed of laminated layers of the protein keratin. Although nails are small, they have two crucial roles. They act as a protective plate and enhance the sensation of the fingertip by acting as a counter force. Each nail consists of several parts, including the nail root, which is the portion of the nail that is beneath the skin behind the fingernails. It extends several millimeters into the finger and produces most of the volume of the nail and nail bed. That was the nail root. The nail bed is a part of the nail matrix and extends from the nail root. It contains blood vessels, nerves, and melanocytes. In order to have normal nail growth, it is crucial that the nail bed be smooth. That was the nail bed. Nail plate. The nail plate is the actual fingernail. It is anchored to the nail bed by the grooves that run along the end of the nail. And lastly, cuticle. The cuticle of the fingernail is between the skin of the finger and the nail plate. It fuses those two structures together and provides a waterproof barrier. So there's 10 pages. Once you click on the download of the information for fingernail cleanliness, that you can read on your own time. But I just want to read just that little bit to give you an idea of what's what.
Awesome. That's what's up. So she gave y'all guys some pretty informal pieces there in words on how to keep your hands safe and clean. So that's definitely important because, you know, as humans, we tend to be everywhere as far as our hands, whether it's on our skin, we touching on our skin, we rubbing in our eye, even digging in our ear.
Yes.
Sneezing.
Scratching in our head.
Playing in our hair, touching other people. So all these things you gotta be conscious of and know how to effectively decrease, you know, getting sick.
I was gonna say something else about where some of us tend to put our hands.
I was thinking that too. I caught what you were about to say. I'm like, okay, well, I ain't gonna say it on here, but yeah, people
do it. They touch their
both
back,
areas,
their butt, their vagina, or their penis,
and their balls,
and all that.
I wanted to say the explicit terms for those, but you know, we're gonna keep it PG-13.
Right. So people do that. So let's just be honest. Let's not act. Okay. Our hands.
It's
I'm
still
speaking
germs.
in general.
It's still germs.
But our hands do go everywhere and it is nasty.
So you gotta be, you know, careful. Okay. And don't spread that to everybody else. If you do all that, please wash your hands. That shit is nasty.
And no just putting soap from the soap dispenser and rubbing your hands together and then getting the paper towel. That is not the correct way of washing your hands.
No, you gotta really get in them hands.
And nor is that sanitizer stuff either. The liquid like that.
I mean, now if you combine both and really
if you combine both, it's fine. But always just using hand sanitizer is not the proper way of washing your hands.
Oh no,
it's a temporary thing.
Right, absolutely. So I do have two articles. One is really, really short, and the other one is more in depth. So you know, might have a little mileage on it. But this is coming from sph.unc.edu. It's just a really, really brief definition of National Hand Washing Awareness Week. So, National Hand Washing Week, December 3rd through 9th, is dedicated to helping people remain healthy, one hand wash at a time. Practicing hand hygiene is a simple yet effective way to prevent infections. Cleaning your hands can prevent the spread of germs, including those that are resistant to antibiotics and are becoming difficult, if not possible, to treat. On average, healthcare providers clean their hands less than half of the times they should. On any given day, about 1 in 25 hospitals patients has at least one healthcare associated infection. They actually had a let me see here. It looks like they had an event or something. That's what it looks like. Something that happened December 3rd through a school. And they also have a website. So if you want to check out tdc.gov/hand hygiene for more information on how to keep good hand hygiene, please do so if you like. I'm sure they have a lot of great information that you can use. They have okay. So tomorrow they actually have 3 related events. They have one called Holiday Carolina Blood Drive, which is December 12th at 7:30 to 1 p.m. Then they have a winter commencement, which is next week on the 17th with the UNC, and they have a Sakai prep session the same day as the Holiday Carolina Blood Drive is session number 2. So those related events. So I'm guessing they also practice the hand hygiene and giving people information about it. So if you want to know some information on that, please check out this website, sph.unc.edu. So yeah, it's very important that you practice hygiene, good hygiene. That's so important all across the board, all on your body, not just your hands, all over. Now, there's a website I'm about to read from. It's from www.normgroup.org. So I'm going to actually, this is like it gives you a summary on Hand Washing Week. They kind of word it in their own way, but they also have questions that come behind it, and they give you the answers to each question. So I'm going to read it. This week, December 4th through 10th, is National Hand Washing Awareness Week. It doesn't matter whether you've been celebrating for days or just learned about this important holiday. There's still time to spread the word and promote healthy habits in your practice and your community. To help you make the most of the new few days, we put together a few frequently asked questions along with their answers. What is National Hand Washing Awareness Week? So, according to American Cleaning Institute, the goal of this week is to decrease the spread of infectious diseases by empowering individuals to educate and help protect their communities. Washing your hands is one of the most effective and simple ways to accomplish this goal, hence the holiday. Why is this event held the first week of December? December is a busy time for most people. Between the rush of the holidays, the end of the year excitement, and the turn in the weather, it's easy to become run down and exhausted. Perfect conditions for illness to take hold. Oh yeah, a lot of people get sick in December. When your system is compromised, it's extra important to stay healthy by avoiding germs, and the best way to do that is by washing your hands. By keeping up with these good habits, you can easily decrease your risk of flus, viruses, and the common cold, which I just mentioned that like 10 minutes ago before you got into the article.
Right.
Excuse me. When should you wash your hands? Most people are good about washing their hands when they use the restroom or are about to prepare food, but there are many other moments throughout your day in which a good washing will go a long way. For example, if you're caring for someone who is sick, about to or just finished treating a wound, cleaning up after a child, or changing a diaper, in contact with animals or their waste, or just took out the trash, you should absolutely wash your hands. All of these everyday activities could spread germs and diseases, so make sure to wash up. What is the best way to wash your hands? Think you know everything about hand washing? Think again. The Center for Disease Control outlines the 5 steps to proper hand washing. They are as follows. Wet your hands with clean running water, warm or cold. Turn off the tap and apply soap. Lather your hands by rubbing them together with soap. Be sure to lather the backs of your hands, so y'all can't just throw stuff on your hands and do a little pit pat and then you're done. That doesn't work like that. You gotta scrub it. Be sure to lather the backs of your hands between your fingers and under your nails. And you just mentioned something about cleaning under the nails. 3. Scrub your hands for at least 20 seconds. I just said it. You can't just do a pat and then out the bathroom. You got to really scrub it. Need a timer? Hum the happy birthday song from beginning to end twice. 4. Rinse your hands well under clean running water. And 5, dry your hands using a clean towel or air dry them. Lastly, ready to celebrate? The American Cleaning Institution has some great resources that are all free for the taking. Their offerings include webinars, infographics, activity and coloring sheets for younger kids, brochures, and fact sheets for adults, and posters that you can print out and hang in your practice to remind people of this important week. Download them and start celebrating today. So, if you're interested in all these free things or these free offerings that can ensure a safety week for us hand washing, please check out this website again, www.normgroup.org, which is normgroup.org. They have the link here is actually highlighted. It just says download them, so click on that and you should be able to pull up all the files. So yeah, follow that, people, and you could decrease your risk of getting sick, period, or catching any disease or anything of that nature.
Yeah. Right. And this is a topic I don't mind if we repeat off of each other, because it's necessary to know that this might seem very excuse me,
maybe
small
stupid
or minimal.
Right.
You think it might be crazy, hand washing, whatever. But it's so important, especially like you said, and adding on to, especially if you're cooking food, and for those that eat meat,
handling that meat.
Yep. I mean, you have to
bunch of viruses and bacteria up in that meat.
Absolutely. Any food that we use, I wash. I mean, I wash everything. I don't care what it is. I even rinse off the cans, to be honest. If I have to use a can, if I have a canned food, I rinse off the can thoroughly. That's just what it is. And you have to really wash your hands good.
But you gotta take those precautions, though.
You do.
You just never know. Things can happen in a split second.
And so this is coming from, and it's probably going to repeat what me and Uno said, but it's okay because it needs to be said. This is coming from Global Hand Washing.
Preach.
So silly. globalhandwashing.org. Again, globalhandwashing.org. So this says, why hand washing? Hand washing with soap is one of the most important public health interventions in the world. Every year, 1.4 million children do not live to celebrate their 5th birthday because of diarrhea and pneumonia. Hand washing with soap is among the most effective and inexpensive ways to prevent these diseases. This simple behavior can save lives, cutting diarrhea by almost 1/2 and acute respiratory infections by nearly 1/4. Excuse me. Hand washing with soap impacts not just health and nutrition, but also education, economics, and equity. We like to call this the HN3E argument. You can learn more about the role of hand washing plays they have different tabs that you can. I'm going to click on health, and it says health. Hand washing with soap improves health and saves lives by preventing infections. Hand washing with soap improves health and saving lives by preventing infections, like I just said. Many infections start when hands are contaminated with disease-causing bacteria and viruses. This can happen after using the toilet, changing a child's diaper, coughing, sneezing, touching other people's hands, and touching other contaminated surfaces, as Uno read in her article. A single gram of human feces can contain 10 million viruses and 1 million bacteria, and infant feces are particularly pathogenic. Hand washing with soap works by removing bacteria and viruses from hands before they get a chance to cause infections or spread to other people. This is why cleaning hands with soap, particularly after contact with fecal material from using the toilet or cleaning a child's bottom, is so important. When hands are contaminated with disease-causing bacteria and viruses, these pathogens can enter the body or pass from person to person. Once these bacteria and viruses enter the body, they can cause a wide range of infections. 2 major illnesses that are transmitted on the hands are diarrhea and pneumonia. Together, diarrhea and pneumonia kill an estimated 1.7 million children every year. Many of these deaths can be prevented by hand washing with soap. Other infections that hand washing with soap can help prevent include Ebola, skin and eye infections, intestinal worms, and healthcare associated infections. Read about hand washing and its impact on different infections below. So they have anything from diarrhea, pneumonia, and acute respiratory infections, Ebola, skin and eye infections, intestinal worms.
That occurs a lot. Intestinal worms.
Yes. Healthcare associated infections, being in, hospital, like if you have hospital stay,
daycare,
intensive care unit, right, all kinds of things.
Old folks homes, all kind of places.
So they have a lot of different information. The World Health Organization Clean Care is Safer Care campaign works to improve hand hygiene amongst healthcare workers. So they even have a link where you can click on that. So they have so much information that you guys need to read. And it is, don't be embarrassed to do it, because we all touch ourselves in whatever way that is not knowing that we're doing it. I don't mean that in a sexual way.
No.
I mean, if y'all do that, if you do it, you do it. But I'm just saying, when you get done with it, can you wash your hands? I'm just saying, because if you just let that stay, let's just be honest, we're adults. If you just, after doing whatever you do and you don't wash your hands, and then you want to put your fingers in your eyes or your face or do whatever, then here you are wondering why you got sores on your mouth and in your mouth, and
the nasty little bumps on your face.
And you wondering what's going on. So I'm just saying,
it's what you doing.
It's right. Like, after you get finished doing what you're doing, please, whatever that is, please wash your hands. Cause if you with your significant other, husband, wife, or whatever, and you
boyfriend,
right,
and
whatever, you going and putting your fingers in their face, and no,
that's not what's up.
That's not cute at all. Not cute at all.
Let alone trying to interact with other people that's outside of your relationship. Just even shaking hands with a person, how you interact, shaking hands, or giving them a hug, or touch them on their skin, not in a sexual way, but when people interact, they might embrace in different ways. So yeah, you gotta be mindful. That's nasty. So yes,
absolutely.
Please wash your damn hands, please.
So they have other links as well, as far as nutrition, how you can go about safety precautions with that, economic impact, education, and looks like equity. So there's just so much information that don't be embarrassed to read on it and follow the tools that they give, just to make sure that not only are you protecting yourself, but you're protecting the people that's around you, whether it's family, work, or just people that you interact with on a daily basis. It's just, and if you see somebody, I don't know, call them. I don't mean call them out to embarrass them, but
pull them to the side.
Knowledge is so important. We shouldn't have that stank attitude, like, let me, that person, I'm gonna let them, just don't have that stank attitude.
No.
Inform them, educate them, pull them to the side. You don't have to embarrass them. I know it's probably a little easier, if you know the person versus if they're a stranger. I get it. But, so again, this is coming from the globalhandwashing.org. So there's lots of links and lots of resources and information.
All right. Let's move on to the next one.
So the next one that we have is, I'm going to pull that up really quickly. The next one that we had.
Really quickly. I'm glad you said it like that.
I know. Quickly. Okay. He's so
Timmy.
quickly.
Timmy.
So the next topic that we're going to talk about is National Impaired Driving Prevention Month.
That's a good one.
Again, National Impaired Driving Prevention Month. So if you'd like to start us off, if you have it, you can.
I'll let you start off since you already done pulled it up.
Okay, so this one, I will just let you know. This is coming from Foremost Prevention. It's really nothing to read per se, but this is coming from foremostpromotions.com. Again, foremostpromotions.com. And this has to do with, they have a book on, this is in Nebraska Safety Center. But so if you live in Nebraska, they have a texting and distracted driving better book, as well as they have a drinking and driving pocket sliders. And I'm not sure if this one, no, it's not that one. This looks like this is a website where you can get like awareness wristbands and bracelets and things of this, but I'll post it. But what I wanted to read is this one. And this is coming from youth.gov. Again, youth.gov.
Oh,
we cutting a fool over here.
Y'all should, boy, y'all can't see her face, but if you did, she about to fuck me up because I'm over here picking with her.
You were doing so good not cussing.
Oh, I know. Sorry.
It's so
well,
funny.
She was about to mess me up.
If y'all could see, if my looks could talk, boy, they would have a lot to say. But anywho, this is what we do. No fake. This is us. So, youth.gov. December is National Impaired Driving Prevention Month. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, which short is NHTSA, within the U.S. Department of Transportation, with the White House Office of National Drug Control Policy, ONDCP, and the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Substance Abuse and Mental Health Service Administration remind you to celebrate safely this holiday season. We stand with all those who have known the tragic consequences of drugged or drunk driving, and we rededicate ourselves to preventing it this December and throughout the year. And let me just side note, not putting my business out there like that, but I can remember my son when he was younger, not the driver, but he was the passenger in the back. Thank the stars, the universe, powers that be above, that he had on a seatbelt, even though he had a drink, but he did buckle up, and he was a passenger in the back. But his boys that were in the front, I think it was one more in the back, my son, and two in the front. So anyway, everyone else was drunk, high, whatever. My son wasn't high, but he had drinks. I ain't gonna lie, he was younger, and he was the only one who had on a seatbelt. So with that, the young man at that time did not have a driver's license, but he did not have on a seatbelt. He did not know how to drive that good, and because when you're intoxicated or high, you're impaired.
Yeah.
Okay, and that car flipped 22 times. Do y'all hear me? It flipped freaking 22 times. All of them could have lost their life. Everybody was safe, bruised up, and probably scared bat shit, now I'm cursing, out of their mind. But they left my son to die. Okay? It flipped 22 times and wrapped around the pole. Saw the pictures. It's real. They left him with the seatbelt, yes, it saved him. However, of course, it messed up his shoulders, and he was just messed up. He was messed up for a little bit. So I'm saying to say, please do not drive and drink, excuse me, even though people say, well, I can drive and drink better when I'm drunk and when I'm high. No, please don't do it. I hope that you have a designated driver because it's real out here.
Stop bucking the system, please.
Please.
Y'all doing too much.
Yes, please. If
you're going to go out, I'm sorry. Just hold the urge for the liquor. If you're going to drive, or otherwise, you don't need to even go out, period. Just chuck the deuces. Just stay home. It's safe.
That never happened again with my son. That particular incident, but I'm glad that back then that everyone made it out, but it was not the picture that you wanted to see being a parent of what could have happened.
You could have died.
Yes.
Actually, all of them could have died 22
exactly.
times. It flipped 22
yes.
times.
Flipped 22 times and wrapped around the pole.
Thank the creator that they all made it out of there.
Made it out and left him.
Right.
That pissed me off.
Well, that's the messed up part about it.
But
everybody ain't your friend, so what you expect?
Right. Well, I think he learned that little tad bit back then. However, I just had to say that, and I hope that reached somebody to not be stupid and do that.
They're gonna have some dummies out here.
Of course.
You ain't telling them nothing.
So
learn the hard way.
You know what? I think if I reach one person, I'm good.
But they're gonna learn the hard way. If they don't listen, they'll learn the hard way.
That's what we do.
As humans.
We as humans, because we've all, please don't act like you're perfect, because you're not. We have all done things that we had to learn
that
from.
was stupid.
That was very stupid.
And sometimes dumb. Sometimes dumb.
So, reading further with this article, it also states, President Obama has designated December 2012 as National Impaired Driving Prevention Month and invites families, educators, health care providers, and community leaders to promote responsible decision making and encourage young people to live free of drugs and alcohol. Okay? Not only young people, but I'm putting out there adults too. Impaired drinking includes distracted driving, drugged driving, and drunk driving. Let me say that again. Impaired driving includes distracted driving, drugged driving, and drunk driving. Okay? Why do we recognize National Impaired Driving Prevention Month? In an average year, 30 million Americans drive drunk and 10 million Americans drive impaired by illicit drugs. A 2010 survey by the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Service Administration revealed that 13.2% of all people aged 16 or older drove under the influence of alcohol, and 4.3% drove under the influence of illicit drugs during the past year. Furthermore, rates of impaired driving differed dramatically by age. While 11.8% of people aged 26 and older drove drunk, 19.5% of people aged 16 to 25 drove drunk, and 2.8% of the older group drove drugged, while 11.4% of younger drivers did so. December seems particularly suited this observation because traffic fatalities that involve impaired drivers increased significantly during the Christmas and New Year holiday periods. We all know that to be true, and I'm sure these numbers are more higher than this. On average, 25 people were killed in alcohol-impaired driving crashes per day during December 2010. Young adults are among those at greatest risk for driving impaired during December 2010. Drivers 21 to 34-year-old were alcohol impaired and involved in fatal crashes at a higher percentage than any other age group. So I'm just going to stop right there. They have so many So many different things. Oh my gosh, it's just it's so much.
A wealth of information.
It's so much. They have prevention resources and toolkits. You can click on that. There's more information if you want to read on it. Please, people, think smart. Please do not drive drunk. Please do not be under the influence of drugs. Like Uno said, if you can, just stay home. If you have to be out, I hope that there's a designated driver who doesn't.
If not, your best bet is just stay in the house. Don't even take that chance at all. It's not worth it.
No.
I don't care how bad you want to hit the club or go out wherever you're trying to go. It's not that serious. There's always another day. So, yeah. It's not worth your life at all.
Yes, because you had that one life.
That's it. Once it's gone, it's gone. Ain't no getting it back.
Everybody's not fortunate to survive like my son and his friends at that time and other people who have survived. Not everybody's fortunate. There's a lot of people who have lost their lives. So this is real.
Absolutely. I have a article for National Impaired Driving Prevention Month. It's coming from scramsystems.com, and they have a logo title says sobering up, covering drunk driving, alcohol addiction, and criminal justice. But in this particular article, they're highlighting National Impaired Driving Prevention. Okay, so the article says, as he has every year since 2009, last week President Obama officially named December 2016 as National Impaired Driving Prevention Month. Impaired driving and related fatalities spiked during the holiday season, making this an important time of year to remind drivers what's at stake when they get behind the wheel. In his proclamation, the president specifically called out the impact of drunk driving, noting that preventable alcohol-related driving fatalities accounted for nearly 1/3 of all traffic fatalities in 2015. Despite years of messaging by anti-drunk driving groups and intensive efforts by law enforcement agencies, this percentage has remained largely unchanged in the past decade. Drugged and distracted driving are also growing dangers on the nation's roads and highways. I want to read that part again. Drugged and distracted driving are also growing dangers on the nation's roads and highways. Stopping impaired driving requires both personal responsibility and action, as well as effective public policies. The president stated that as a nation, we must recommit to doing everything we can to prevent driving-related injuries and fatalities, including pledging not to get behind the wheel after drinking and not to text while driving, ever. Calling 911 if we suspect a driver is drunk or impaired. Setting a good example for teen drivers by modeling safe driving practices and choices. Providing better treatment options for Americans who struggle with alcohol and substance misuse disorders. Giving law enforcement the resources and tools they need to address impaired driving. And they have, look like this may be a part here that says other steps that the citizens can take in the country, United States, to prevent drunkenness, being on drugs while driving or being distracted while driving. And I think it's a little video here from Target 25. So I'm thinking you can click on this. It looks like you can, but please check out this website, scramsystems.com. And since they mentioned President Obama in the proclamation, I do have an article on that from Obama White House. This is when he was in office. So this is the proclamation. Okay.
I have one of those too.
Oh, you do? You want to go ahead and read that?
No, you can read yours because you can read yours from Obama, and I'm going to read. After you done, I'm going to read the proclamation from their president.
Oh, okay, bet. All right, I know exactly what you're talking about. All right. So, this is coming from ObamaWhiteHouse.archives.gov. Presidential Proclamation, National Impaired Driver Prevention Month 2016. National Impaired Driving Prevention Month 2016 by the President of the United States of America, a proclamation. At the time he was president. Driving drunk, drugged, or distracted poses a significant threat to drivers, passengers, pedestrians, and all who share our roads. During the holiday season, incidents of impaired driving occur more frequently, and every December we observe National Impaired Driving Prevention Month to highlight steps we can take to improve safety on our streets and raise awareness of these preventable dangers. Recently, the number of traffic crash fatalities caused by impaired driving has unfortunately increased. Last year, preventable alcohol-related driving fatalities accounted for nearly 1/3 of all traffic fatalities. Consumption of alcohol by drivers, even those who are legal drinking age, is highly dangerous, and drug use, including prescription drug use. Yes, prescription drug use counts as drugs, people. Okay.
Right.
Where we at? Okay. Can also harm judgment, perception, and motor skills used when driving. Distracted driving include eating, tending to passengers, and using a cell phone. All those can be distractions that could cause you to get in a crash or endanger other lives in the car, not just your car but other people's cars. So please be aware of that. Now, can also be dangerous and is equally preventable. We can all do our part to keep our roads safe and prevent these tragedies. As passengers, we can reduce our interactions with drivers and less distractions. As friends and family members, we can look out for loved ones who may be drinking and help them get home safely. And as citizens, we can also call 911 to report any dangerous driving we observe. My administration has worked to help Americans who struggle with substance use disorders and substance misuse, which can lead to incidents of drunk or drugged driving. We are also striving to give law enforcement officers the resources and support they need to combat impaired driving, and we must encourage the development of technologies like ignition interlock devices, which can prevent impaired individuals from getting behind the wheel. Through the Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign, states and communities across our country are working to increase road patrols and sobriety checkpoints, in addition to raising awareness and improving education on the dangers of impaired driving. You can learn more about what we are doing to prevent impaired driving by visiting, and they have a link under this long paragraph. So I'm not going to say all of it. I'm going to just tell you to come to this website, obamawhitehouse.archives.gov, to check it out. Whether encouraging parents to set a good example for their teen drivers or educating every driver on the dangers of unsafe driving, we must recommit to doing everything we can to prevent driving-related injuries and fatalities. This month, let us continue empowering drivers to make responsible decisions and educating American people on ways that can help our roads safe and our futures bright. Now, therefore, I, Barack Obama, President of the United States of America, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Constitution and the laws of the United States, do hereby proclaim December 2016 as National Impaired Driving Prevention Month. I urge all Americans to make responsible decisions and take appropriate measures to prevent impaired driving. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand this 13th day of November in the year of our Lord 2016, and of the independence of the United States of America, the 241st. Barack Obama.
Awesome.
Right.
For 2016,
right.
Our former president Barack Hussein Obama. Now, what does current President Orange here talking about? Yes, so
psychotic, fucking idiotic dumbhead talking about.
Well, this is coming from www.whitehouse.gov, and since you guys, President,
yeah, you guys, it ain't mine.
Which is this release was
I ain't vote for him.
This release was November the 30th, 2017. So since he's in the House now, President Donald J. Trump proclaims December 2017 as National Impaired Driving Prevention Month. Side note, like Uno said, yes, prescription drugs are as bad as street drugs. Texting, we have to stop texting. Well, not we, like me and Uno, but like people, right? But for those that drive, please stop texting while you driving. And then if you drunk or drugged, really, y'all, it's like y'all want to die, like a death wish.
Yeah, you got a death wish, man.
Because that makes no sense.
The text is not that deep.
I mean, it's bad enough when people text and they're not drinking and driving, and you're driving and you're texting.
Not paying attention to the road.
Not paying attention to the road at all.
Takes a split second. You see the snap? Hear the snap of my finger? Split second.
Yes. So please, okay. So, National Impaired Driving Prevention Month 2017. By the President of the United States of America, a proclamation. On average, every 50 minutes, a person in the United States die in a vehicle crash involving alcohol. We have seen too many lives cut short by impaired driving, and too many drivers continue to put themselves and others at risk every day. During National Impaired Driving Prevention Month, we re-emphasize that impaired driving is never acceptable. We recognize that we can eliminate impaired driving through our choices, and we pledge to make the right choice by driving sober. 40 years ago, alcohol was a factor in almost 2/3 of all traffic fatalities. Fatalities. Through the tireless efforts of states, communities, and advocacy organizations, we have made tremendous progress in reducing impaired driving and protecting the American people. Unfortunately, for the second consecutive year, we have seen an increase in the number of alcohol-impaired traffic I can't even say it now. Fatalities, excuse me, on America's roadways. I'm starving. In 2016, more than 10,000 people died in alcohol-impaired crashes, accounting for 28% of all traffic fatalities. Wow, why am I getting a brain fart with that?
What's up?
We must reverse this trend. Drinking and driving affects all Americans. In 2012, 4.2 million adults reported having driven at least once within a 30-day span while impaired by alcohol. Driving while impaired, even after one drink, can dramatically change the lives of drivers, passengers, innocent bystanders, and their loved ones. My administration is committed to raising awareness about the dangers of impaired driving and to eliminating it from our communities. Additionally, by reducing hundreds of harmful regulations, we are supporting our innovative American companies as they create new technology that can help us address impaired driving, from ride-hailing services to advanced vehicle technology. My administration is also providing vital resources to law enforcement to support their efforts to keep our surroundings safe. Ultimately, the responsibility for preventing impaired driving lies with each of us. We care for our loved ones when we keep them safe and prevent them taking the wheel after drinking alcohol. By taking action to educate our fellow Americans through coordinated efforts with family, friends, neighbors, schools, churches, and community organizations, we can reduce deaths and accidents arising from impaired driving. Now, therefore, I, Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Constitution and the laws of the United States, do hereby proclaim December 2017 as National Impaired Driving Prevention Month. I urge all Americans to make responsible decisions and take appropriate measures to prevent impaired driving, in witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand this 13th day of November in the year of our Lord 2017, and of the independence of the United States of America, the 242nd. Donald J. Trump. So that is your president with the proclamation for December 2017.
Y'all president. I ain't vote for him.
As far as the National Impaired Driving Prevention Month.
They probably
so
come back. Well,
we have to
your president.
We have to
I
do
ain't vote for
our
his ass either.
we have to do our due diligence. I voted for him the first time. The second time I didn't. I'm not going to lie. I speak openly about not being a voter, and please, where our focus is not that. Let's move forward. We all have different views and opinions.
Cause we can debate it now. You ain't gonna gang up on my lady. Ain't that right, Jay?
Yes, that's right. But we're not going to talk about whether it's right or wrong to vote. Okay, so we all still need to do our due diligence.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's just remember that and put that in a plan of action. So I just want to read that. So, yeah.
Well, alrighty.
That's all that I have for National Impaired Drivers Driving Prevention Month.
Okay, well, I do have, I'm just going to read this. There's a part here. If y'all only knew what my lady was doing, she over here acting silly. This is coming from www.nadcp.org, and this is supposed to be like a court impaired driving prevention month resource center. You know I had to do it. I couldn't even have it. But their prime opportunity is to discuss what they're doing in the communities across the nation, and they prevent impaired driving, which is by changing the behavior of a repeated DWI offender. So they put together a court field kit, and that's designed to provide access that'll be easy for people to get the tools that they need to execute an impactful month. They have resources on here, which is event ideas, instructions for inviting members of Congress to your events. They have a media packet. They have a National Impaired Driving Prevention Month webinar. They have talking points of DWI courts, alcohol impaired driving, and drug impaired driving. Video clips about DWI courts and impaired driving. NHTSA holiday crackdown supporting material. And they have an event submission. So you can access all these. You just download the DWI Court Field Kit. So for those who want to get involved in this, or people who are struggling with DWIs, or people who just struggle with driving safe on the roads, and want to be stupid and not practice safe driving, it might be good for you to download these resources. It could be helpful. If you can't hear from nobody else, maybe this will help you. So I encourage you to check this website out from www.nadcp.org. And me and Jade will have all this stuff posted on our Instagram,
absolutely,
and Facebook. I'm talking about all links that we have got information from and read to you. So we will have all that posted up during this week, sometime this week. So, but I don't have nothing else as far as National Impaired Driving. I'm ready to go on to the next one.
This is also interesting because it educates me as well, because I don't know everything and don't claim to. But when we do these awarenesses, when we do these awarenesses, it's very educating.
Is it now?
It is.
Okay.
So our next topic that we're going to get into.
Into who? Would you like some?
No.
Ooh. Now see. Now if I ain't offer none, she say, well,
Oh no, she didn't offer me none.
Those are
But she want to get my
those are
stuff, but
salty. I don't want those.
she off me now.
Okay, moving forward.
Moving forward.
Our next topic is going to be Crohn's and Colitis Awareness Week.
Yay!
Crohn's and Colitis Awareness Week. So, this is coming from the Crohn's, which is CROHNS, Colitis, COLITIS, Foundation, FOUNDATION.org. Crohn's Colitis Foundation.org.
Alrighty.
This is definitely going to educate me because I have no idea what Crohn's and colitis is. So I'm about to find out for myself.
Yep, sure is.
So this is, what are Crohn's and colitis? Learning that you or your loved one has been diagnosed with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis may fill you with anxiety, concern, and lots of questions. Even many healthcare professionals are unfamiliar with Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. It's important to begin learning all that you can about what Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis is so that you can better understand these conditions and learn how to manage its symptoms. Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis are both major categories of inflammatory bowel disease, also known as IBD. IBD affects an estimated 1.6 million Americans. These chronic diseases tend to run in families, and they affect males and females equally. While IBD can affect anyone, Caucasians are more likely than other ethnic groups to have IBD. The diseases are especially prevalent in Jews of European descent. African Americans and Hispanics in the United States are increasingly affected. Crohn's disease is a chronic inflammatory condition of the gastrointestinal tract and may affect any part from the mouth to the anus. You can read more about the signs and symptoms of Crohn's disease. You just have to click on that link.
I would like to know the signs.
So,
Interesting.
let's see what the signs are. Okay. Recognizing the signs and symptoms. Crohn's disease can affect any part of the GI tract. While symptoms vary from patient to patient, and some may be more common than others, the telltale symptoms of Crohn's disease include persistent diarrhea, rectal bleeding, urgent need to move bowels, abdominal cramps and pain, sensation of incomplete evacuation, constipation can lead to bowel obstruction. General symptoms that may also be associated with IBD: fever, loss of appetite, weight loss, fatigue, night sweats, loss of normal menstrual cycle. Even if you think you are showing signs of Crohn's disease symptoms, only proper testing performed by your doctor can render a diagnosis. People suffering from Crohn's often experience loss of appetite and may lose weight as a result. A feeling of low energy and fatigue is also common. Among younger children, Crohn's may delay growth and development. Crohn's is a chronic disease, so this means patients will likely experience periods when the disease flares up and causes symptoms, followed by periods of remission when patients may not notice symptoms at all. In more severe cases, Crohn's can lead to tears, fissures, fissures, in the lining of the anus, which may cause pain and bleeding, especially during bowel movements. Inflammation may also cause a fistula to develop. a fistula is a tunnel that leads from one loop of intestines to another, or that connects the intestine to the bladder, vagina, or skin. This is a serious condition that requires immediate medical attention. You can also read more about the symptoms you or your loved ones loved one experience. May depend on which part of the GI tract is affected. You can click on the link, read more about the types of Crohn's disease and associated symptoms. So just one. Oh, and I just lost it. I was going to read something. It looks like those men and women can be affected anywhere from the range of 15 to 35, 15 to 40. I think that's what I had saw. Shared symptoms. That's where I was. Just kind of finish this off. Shared symptoms of Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. It is often difficult to diagnose which form of IBD a patient is suffering from because both Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis cause similar symptoms. Symptoms related to inflammation of the GI tract, which is diarrhea, rectal bleeding, urgent need to move bowels, I think I read this, abdominal cramps and pains, sensation of incomplete evacuation, constipation can lead to bowel obstruction. I read those. Both illnesses do have one strong feature in common. They are marked by an abnormal response by the body's immune system. The immune system is composed of various cells and proteins. Normally, these protect the body from infection. In people with Crohn's disease, however, the immune system reacts inappropriately. However, in people suffering from IBD, the immune system reacts inappropriately, mistaking benign or beneficial cells and bacteria from harmful foreign substances. When this happens, your immune system can do harm to your gastrointestinal tract and produce the symptoms of IBD. So they have different, you can learn more to learn. Let me just read it. Welcome to the IBD Health Center Education Corner. Researchers have published a new study that has successfully identified biological signatures in pediatric patients with newly diagnosed Crohn's disease, CD, capable of predicting whether a child will develop disease-related complications requiring major surgery within 3 to 5 years. This groundbreaking work is the result of the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation Risk Stratification Study, the largest new onset study completed on pediatric Crohn's disease patients. To learn the results of this study, you can contact the IBD Health Center at info@crohnscolitisfoundation.org. Interesting. Wow. Oh, good.
Nah, for real.
It's very
No, that's interesting.
I had no idea what Crohn's
I know now.
and ulcerative.
That's very
colitis.
unsettling.
That's
Unsettling, and that's horrible.
yes.
I mean, that's torture. That is torture. But it must be said, and so people can be aware what it is, how it functions, what it does, how it can affect you, how it can stop your everyday life. So I'm glad that I was able to learn about Crohn's and colitis. I do have an article on Crohn's and colitis as far as the awareness week. I do have other articles about natural remedies, so we'll get into that in a few minutes. But for right now, I have an article coming from sgna.org. It's titled Crohn's and Colitis Awareness Week, What You Can Do. In the U.S. alone, Crohn's and colitis affect more than 1.6 million individuals, roughly half of which are children under the age of 18. Medical professionals still do not know the cause of the diseases, and for many living with the symptoms, it is an intense personal battle not easily visible to friends, family, or even doctors. It is important for healthcare providers to understand that how the individual appears on the outside is not reflective of their health and well-being, explained SGNA member Kathleen Shelnut, MSN RN AGNS/BCCGRN. Shelnut has been facilitating a Crohn's and colitis support group since 2014 and finds that each meeting is different. Individuals have expressed that they learn something new each time. Shelnut finds she learns from them as well. Maybe of these individuals are struggling daily with uncontrolled symptoms but are leading a productive life, she said. As Shelnut observes, these patients must go on with life despite debilitating symptoms. Some even find the strength to run 2 marathons, finish medical school, or start a career in the NBA. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation, a nonprofit organization founded in 1967, shares several of these unique and inspiring patient stories on their website. Y'all should check that out. That's very inspiring and interesting, so definitely check that out, guys. Highlighting just a few of the 1.6 million Americans who do not let their disease define them. The 6th annual Crohn's and Colitis Awareness Week will take place this year, December 1st through 7th. GI units are encouraged to spread awareness through social media, staying on top of educational resources, and finding ways to support the cause. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has several ways to get involved, from team races to spin classes, advocacy programs, support group resources, and more, all with the goal of raising awareness and funding to continue research. Beyond the Awareness Week, it's important for GI nurses to keep a pulse on the topic and new developments for their parents. For Shelnut, an advocate for lifelong learning, the annual course has been one way of staying informed on the disease. I attend sessions related to IBD and visit vendors to explore their patient support programs so I can bring new information back to my support group, she said. Though a cure is still uncertain, with proactive education, increased awareness, and ongoing involvement, GI nurses can play a key role in supporting patients affected by this disease. So again, you can go to www.sgna.org to check on this article and click on, what was that I saw that was coming from, what was that? Look into the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. It's a non-profit organization, and it was founded in 1967. So do some research on that. Check it out. If you want to get involved more, please research deeper and get yourself connected with it. So it's definitely important. Because, I mean, it basically comes down to, I mean, you never know what a person's going through. Not just, people say mentally all the time, but even physically. You don't know what a person's going through. Just cause they look one way on the outside don't mean that's what is displayed in the inside. So so true. You just never know people's stories. So, but it all comes back to what? Self-care. Mm-hmm. Self-care, people, is first. And if something is not curable, then please find effective ways to take care of your body. Put the right minerals, resources, foods in your body to slow down the process. You don't want to speed it up. You want to have a long lifespan. So self-care. We encourage it all the time. We can't say it enough. Please.
Sure can't. Were you reading something else?
Yeah, you over there grabbing, man. Yeah. But hey, Jade ain't wasting no time.
I couldn't hold it any longer. I have a little headache. Yes, I'm eating as we're doing our show, but
we're gonna go through this anyway. We freestyle. We do us. We don't care.
Did you know that Crohn's disease was named after Dr. Burrell B. Crone?
Oh, didn't know that. You should read that, please.
I'm just gonna read just that little brief, and that's it, because it's kind of repeating itself about what I already kind of read.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
But what is Crohn's disease? Named after Dr. Beryl B. Crohn, who first described the disease in 1932, along with his colleagues Dr. Leon and Dr. Gordon. Crohn's disease belongs to a group of conditions known as inflammatory bowel disease, which is IBD. Crohn's disease is a chronic inflammatory condition of the gastrointestinal tract, as I've read before. What are the causes of Crohn's disease? Who is affected, I should say. Crohn's disease may affect as many as 780,000 Americans. Men and women are equally like to be affected. And while the disease can occur at any age, Crohn's is more prevalent among adolescents and young adults between the ages of 15 and 35. I wasn't sure if it was 15 to 35 or 15 to 40, but they say 15 to 35. So, they have all kinds of testing, and if you're uncertain about something, please get tested. You have a doctor, go get tested. They have testing, Crohn's diagnosis and testing, where you can do early tests and exams. You can do biopsies, colonoscopy, small intestinal imaging. There's so many different testings that you can get. They have that for you. Of course, they have the pharmaceutical way about medication, medical options. They have medications. Ooh, they have all kinds of antibiotics and biologic therapies. So there's a whole lot of things. I heard you mention something like, while you're over here sniffing me, I heard you mention
you wasn't supposed to say that.
They have Crohn's treatment options. Medications, diet and nutrition, which is always so important with your self-care. Whether you go the pharmaceutical way with the medicines or
the natural way.
If you go the natural way, incorporate therapies, diet and nutrition. That plays a big part in all of our lives. Whether it's a mental issue we have or a physical issue that we have. When you do poor eating, diet and nutrition, it does play it, right? Like, it does play a part. Wow. Okay, I'm just gonna whatever.
No, you're right.
That goes along with the self-care, people. We have the self-care, right?
Self-care.
Whichever option that you choose, please make sure that you put in that diet and nutrition, because it does play an important factor.
A big
when
factor.
You eat piss poor, when you have poor diet and nutrition,
it shows in the physical,
it
the outer.
shows in the physical and the mental.
Oh, absolutely.
So whatever way you choose to go, make sure you incorporate that. I guess worst case scenario, surgery.
If need be.
If worst case scenario, if all else fails, then with that, there's treatment options with that. So you just got to be mindful and make sure that you ask plenty of questions, get second and third opinions. And if you are incorporating alternative options with herbs and things like that, let your doctor know.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna listen now
while
I continue eating.
No, you right though. I'm just over here picking with you.
I know.
No, but you right though, man. Proper diet, get the best treatment as possible, whether it's medical or natural. Self-care is first. Put yourself first. You only got one life. Take care of your body as much as you can, because no one is promised tomorrow. There's so much going on. Things can happen so fast and you don't even know it. So please, take better care of yourselves. That's what I want to say to that. To end your conversation as far as the Crohn's disease and the alternatives you can take.
Yeah, and like even with this, I mean, also they have different types of Crohn's disease and associated symptoms, ileocolitis and gastroduodenal Crohn's disease.
That's a long ass word.
I mean, they have a lot of different types of Crohn's disease and associated symptoms. So
wow,
the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has so much information along with what Uno was reading from her sources that get on it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Even if you don't have it and you may know of someone that does, or may
Get
even
involved.
display, the symptoms and things of that nature, share that information with them so they can get help.
And that's a way to get involved. You're getting involved
Right.
just by doing that one deed.
Exactly.
But there's many ways to get involved, but that's just one avenue. And speaking of getting to an avenue, getting involved, now I wanted to speak on the purpose of Crohn's and colitis, so people are aware of how the involvement coincides with Crohn's and colitis. Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis are invisible diseases. The symptoms and its effects on the person may not manifest on the exterior, but what goes on internally can be debilitating physically, emotionally, and financially. And with the gastrointestinal tract being a major artery in a person's daily functioning, the pain felt in the GI tract radiates all over the body, causing not only overwhelming stomach pain, weight loss, malnutrition, arthritis, but also emotional distress. The purpose of Crohn's and Colitis Awareness Month is to reach individuals who have not heard about these diseases, educate them, and provide them with tools to become IBD advocates. It is impossible for anyone unfamiliar with these diseases to relate to those affected by it, which is why the awareness raised during this month is crucial. More than the education, the purpose of Crohn's and Colitis Awareness Month is to encourage others to find a cure for these diseases. Despite that we have already found breakthroughs for diseases that were long impossible to cure in the past, the cure for Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis yet to be established. But there is breakthroughs and natural cures that you can try to either slow it down and possibly cure it. I believe there's a cure for it, but what I know. I do have articles on that. I have this here. It says, manage your Crohn's disease with these foods. And this is coming from Draxe, DRAXE.com. So, the headline is Crohn's Disease Diet and Natural Treatment Plan. So, we know the definition of Crohn's disease. Okay. I'm thinking this is it. Okay. Diet and natural treatment plan. Crohn's disease treatment the natural way involves making a number of scientifically proven changes to your lifestyle and diet. Here are some of the top ways I recommend you start healing your body and improving Crohn's disease symptoms, starting with learning about which foods are a part of a Crohn's disease diet. The National Institute of Diabetes, Digestive and Kidney Diseases states that healthcare providers recommend several types of specific diet plans for helping to control Crohn's symptoms. So these ones include high-calorie diets, lactose-free diets, removing dairy products. That's all it just means. You're intolerant of intolerant of dairy.
Mm-hmm.
Low-fat diets, low-fiber diets, low-salt diets. The type of diet that works best depends on your ability to digest and absorb minerals, bacteria, fats, fiber, and certain types of carbohydrates. People with Crohn's react differently to these food groups depending on what type of medication they may be taking, the level of intestinal inflammation, and the extent to which they produce or don't produce different digestive enzymes. Avoid classic problem foods. Food sensitivities vary from patient to patient, but commonly include spicy and fried foods. Refined foods like white breads and pastas, carbonated drinks, alcohol and caffeine, wheat products, gluten, cereal grains such as corn and oats, dairy products, pork, onions, and yeast all tend to make Crohn's disease worse. Let's see. Research published. I'm just gonna say gastro and hyper and HEPA because they long words. Shows that a diet low in fat and fiber, known as a low flex diet, tends to be highly effective at treating Crohn's, with some studies finding that up to 60% of patients go into remission within 2 years. So, eat a healing diet. If you suffer from Crohn's, I strongly recommend following the healing foods diet, which decreases inflammation. The number one dietary goal with Crohn's: alkalizes the body, lowers blood glucose, eliminates toxins, and optimizes nutrient intake. Changing and improving your diet is one of the most important, controllable, and natural things you can do to improve inflammation associated with Crohn's disease. So, limit dairy. You gotta limit dairy. Be careful with high fiber foods, including raw fruits and vegetables. Okay, now, because that can be difficult if you have large amounts of that kind of fiber coming from raw fruits and vegetables. And depending on the severity of Crohn's disease, it can be a difficulty to digest a lot of that and turn it to workable energy for the body. So yeah, you have to be careful. Trouble foods they mention here: you got broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, nuts, seeds, corn, and popcorn. Let's see.
And those are things you can't eat.
Yeah, that can inflammate your body. Increase prebiotic intake. So consuming more prebiotics, a special form of dietary fiber that promotes the growth of healthy bacteria. Probiotics, which combat bad bacteria, is a smart idea for people with Crohn's disease. So prebiotic foods include things like asparagus, bananas, honey, and oats, all which make excellent additions to any Crohn's disease diet. Let's see, we got eat smaller meals. Yeah, that could be very helpful, because eating big meals can mess up your your digestive tract, especially if it's not digested well, if you're not moving so much and it's trying to flow through your digestive system. If you want to avoid a Crohn's disease flare-up, it's best to stop all over your body with oversized meals, okay? So you can try eat smaller meals more often throughout the day rather than 2-3 big meals to help with absorption of nutrients, improving energy, and controlling symptoms. Drink enough fluids. Boy, that is the number one thing. That water is good for you. Flush all that toxins and stuff out. It's possible to lose a high amount of fluid due to frequent diarrhea. Yes, that diarrhea takes a lot of energy out of you.
It does.
Ooh. Make sure to drink at least 8-ounce glasses of plain water per day. Caffeine-free herbal tea, that's a good one. Bone broth and kombucha are also good choices.
Oh, kombucha.
Kombucha.
Don't we do kombucha?
Kombucha.
We do kombucha.
That's what we
Would
do.
You like some kombucha?
That's what I'm about to do now. After we get off this show, I'm going to drink me some. I think that's what I got here.
You have some kombucha.
I have some kombucha, and it's good for my stomach because I do have little digestive problems, not Crohn's disease, but more so acid reflux. So that's a good recommendation. So they say kombucha, those are good choices, since these not only provide water but also electrolytes, amino acids, and probiotics. They do have supplements for Crohn's disease. So they say take a daily high quality live probiotic supplement in addition to consuming probiotic foods. Supports your body's immune system, which that's very critical in order for your body to flow effectively. Improve digestive function and mineral absorption. Probiotics have been shown to help people with Crohn's disease reduce the incidence of diarrhea. A good probiotic also encourages enhanced synthesis of vitamin B12. Studies suggest people with Crohn's often suffer from vitamin B12 deficiency, and or folate deficiency, calcium and vitamin K2, and support digestion of difficult substances like gluten and lactose. Slippery elm is an herbal remedy and demulcent, a substance that protects irritated tissues and promotes their healing. It contains mucilage and is a substance that becomes a slick gel when mixed with water. This mucilage coats and soothes the mouth, throat, stomach, and intestines, making it excellent at calming Crohn's flare-ups. You good?
I'm good. I met you the way you said mucilage.
Yeah, mucilage. They got here, I hope I'm saying it right, curcumin, which is curcumin. With anti-inflammatory properties, studies have found that people in inflammatory bowel disease who took curcumin reduced their symptoms and their need for medicines. Various clinical studies have suggested that curcumin might be a potential candidate for the prevention and or treatment of a variety of colonic diseases such as ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, and colonic cancer. They have one called glutamine. Is an amino acid found in the body that helps the intestine function properly. Since it's good for overall intestinal health, it can offer help for Crohn's. It's best to take glutamine on an empty stomach. Okay, cool. Omega-3 fatty acids, like those found in fish oil, can help fight inflammation and reduce the chances of recurrence of Crohn's disease. Studies
Fish oil, you said?
Like those found in fish oils, omega-3 fatty acids.
Omega-3 is good for
Crohn's
inflammatory.
disease. For Crohn's disease, yeah.
Because they probably flare up.
Yeah. But omega-3s are helpful. So the things that I'm saying, and if you suffer with Crohn's disease or you know someone that suffers from Crohn's disease or colitis, pass this information over to them because it could help their life. They have another one called Real Multivitamin. Because Crohn's disease can interfere with the ability to absorb nutrients, it's often a good idea to take a multivitamin and mineral supplement. You don't want to just take any multivitamin though. Make sure it's a real food multivitamin that contains beneficial minerals, and avoid multivitamins with dangerous substances such as Centrum vitamins. Y'all know what that Centrum vitamins is. Y'all know what that name is and the logo. I know exactly what they're talking about. So avoid Centrum vitamins, people. Avoid it. It's not good for your Crohn's disease.
It's gonna make me take omega-3s just because omega-3s really is good, even if you don't have Crohn's disease. It's good for inflammatory. I'm gonna need to get back on that.
Oh yeah, true. Me too. Shoot, especially they talking about inflammation and digestive tract and digestive problems and inflammation problems. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna look into some of this and take it and just to see what it does. I'm sure it will do some miracles for me. Frankincense essential oil speeds up the secretion of digestive enzymes, increases urination production, relaxes the muscles of the digestive tract, and it also helps to improve circulation. Overall, improved digestive health, and has been shown to be beneficial in reducing symptoms of Crohn's disease as well as leaky gut syndrome. They got lemongrass essential oil. Can help relieve pain from gas irritation in the stomach and bowels. Has anti-inflammatory properties that come from the limonene that's present. Inflammation is associated with just about every health condition, including Crohn's disease. But this lemongrass fights inflammation and makes a great addition to your diet. And they have on this website, drax.com, they have other natural disease treatments. I will not read any further, but I gave you some information on natural cures or natural ways to either cure it or slow down the process of colitis or Crohn's disease. So I recommend you check this website out for more information on other treatments for Crohn's disease. I thought that was an interesting article.
That was. I like that.
Yeah,
I'm all about the
I'm gonna shoot that to
herbs.
you.
Shoot that to me outside of the group. Outside of the show, rather.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot it.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to see that outside of the show, but definitely that will be posted again, as well as all the articles that we read from. So for your pleasure, on your leisure time, you can read it.
Absolutely.
Thank you. How fast and efficient are you?
Right.
Go ahead.
Oh, no. I was gonna do. Well, do you have something?
Just what also is going to be included with in the articles is something coming from the consumerhealthdigest.com. consumerhealthdigest.com. Again, they have pretty much what we've been reading, but it's nothing like just making sure if you need to read it over again to get it registered in your head, that's okay. Purpose of Crohn's disease and colitis awareness month. I mean, you can, it affects the body. Overwhelming stomach pains, weight loss, malnutrition, arthritis, but also emotional distress. Not only, again, as me and Uno said, it takes a toll on your body, but it takes a toll on your mental stability as well, because you're fighting it. You're trying to, you're in so much pain. You're trying to figure out.
Stresses you out because finances can run out.
Right. I
had no financial alternatives.
Right. Doctor bills and all of that.
Right.
So, if you want to get involved and be an IBD advocate or volunteer, they have ways on how you can do that, writing to your local community, encouraging them to join the caucus on Crohn's and colitis is a good place to start. Also on their social medias, like CCFA page on Facebook. Follow the CCFA on Twitter, on YouTube. It gives you the latest research studies on cures for Crohn's disease and ulcerated colitis and other documented events by CCFA. Share Awareness Month posters and press releases on your accounts, as well as spreading the word on Crohn's and Colitis Awareness Month to your network. They have a link where you can sign up as an advocate. You'll get notifications every time there's anything going on, or if they need volunteers. They suggest if you have a blog, you can install advocacy plugins on your blog page. I mean, they just have a multiple thing. Their color is purple, wearing purple shirts and or the purple ribbon as a form of support to patients with Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis and their families. You can, of course, donate, because you can't do anything without the finance. Donate to crowdfunding campaigns and help raise money for patients and families who are seeking your financial and moral support. So there are so many things that they have that you can get involved in. They have special tips on Crohn's and Colitis Awareness Month. It says, unfortunately, there is no way to prevent Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, though I believe that there is, but that's just me. Who am I? I'm just a peon. However, there are several things you can do to prevent these diseases from taking its toll on your body, such as the following. As me and Uno have stated, maintaining a healthy and balanced diet, load up on fruits and vegetables according to, you can't eat all fruits and veggies, so you got to do the research. Taking vitamins and minerals, taking the correct vitamins and minerals for your body, and natural sources and supplements. Do not smoke. Do not smoke.
There's gonna be some hard-hit individuals, though.
Well, you will see those
effects. You will
if you do the wrong things. Because believe me, being diabetic, if I do the wrong thing, it instantly lets me know.
It shows.
It shows. I feel it. The pain. But anywho,
Jesus, let Jesus be a fence.
Anyway, Avoid certain food choices that may induce flare-ups, such as milk and spicy foods. So that is so very true.
That's
being
why I don't do a lot of spicy foods.
Being diabetic and hypertension and blah, 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 blah. When you eat those wrong foods,
it will flare.
You will flare up. I don't know about y'all, but I can speak for the way I'm set up.
I'm speaking for the way I'm set
up. I flare up and I go through it.
I don't eat a lot of hot and spicy foods.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Please avoid those milk products or
that's a quick flare up though,
right? Please avoid whatever is not good for you. Avoid it.
Well, try
do your best. I know it's hard. Let me say that because it's hard for me at times. I'm not gonna lie. I told y'all I'm 90%, 10% I'm still away from being a vegan, but I'm honest about that. I'm not gonna sit up here and be like, "Ooh, I am just 100% vegan." That would be a lie. I have to be honest with myself. So I'm doing my best, and I say that because I'm sure that it can be hard. But take one step at a time. Do not beat yourself up because there's always the next day to try again. So,
all right.
In conclusion with this, it says, staying informed and educated is the best way to address not only Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis, but other life-threatening conditions. As symptoms start to set in, seek the help of a medical professional for prognosis and for the immediate administration of treatment. A proactive attitude is the best way to avoid further complications.
Awesome. Absolutely. That's what you want to avoid. Self-care, be aware, be mindful. Yes. That's very important, guys. So, yeah, take heed to that, okay?
Yes.
Now, let's move on to our last and final one. Human Rights Day for this month of December.
We might have the same one. What's yours?
You go first, because I have other ones. I have multiple.
No, read.
No,
I want you to go this time.
Oh.
Please, if you don't mind. Thank you.
But I'm skipping that article.
You would.
Because I know you got it.
And I have that article too. So go ahead.
Oh, fine. I'll just read this one.
Yeah, read it. Thanks.
Okay.
It's oh boy.
Excuse me.
This is coming from USA Today. The title says, on International Human Rights Day, freedom is still elusive in much of the world and U.S. 69 years ago, the UN General Assembly adopted a Universal Declaration of Human Rights which sought to cement basic rights for people worldwide. Human rights, an issue that has bubbled through some of the most contentious battlegrounds of 2017, took center stage Sunday to salute individual freedoms across the globe. In 1948, the UN General Assembly adopted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. A year later, December 10th was declared Human Rights Day. The declaration formed in a post-World War II era that shared both Nazism and colonialism, sought to cement basic rights for people worldwide. Nobel laureate Malala Yousafzai, one of the most vibrant defenders of human rights, invoked the name of an earlier anti-Nazi pioneer Sunday. The words Annie Frank wrote still remind us to cherish and defend human rights. She tweeted, "Today I'm thinking of Palestinian and Rohingya children, and all around the world still struggling to achieve Anne's dream of freedom," said Malala, who was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2014 as a Pakistani teen crusading for the rights of girls to receive a quality education. Against a backdrop of police-involved shootings, sexual harassment cases, immigrant arrests, threats to LGBT gains, and a surge in hate crimes since the 2016 U.S. presidential election, a heated debate rages over individual rights in the United States. The United States, while offering a series of human rights protections, still has a lot of work to do in order to remedy all abuses in the country and abroad, says Fat Moidini, an associate professor of international studies at Butler University. Many in the U.S. still fail to view economic and social-based rights, that includes health, as secondary to civil and political rights, says Moidini, who studies human rights, international affairs, and global injustices. Another critical concern, racial discrimination manifests in ways such as prison incarceration rates for minorities and limitations on voter access, he said. Slavery, ethnic cleansing, and a lack of education still prevail in many cultures worldwide, Mudini notes. The UDHR has served as a cornerstone for so many subsequent documents in the international human rights corpus. He said, however, there's still so much that we need to work for. Here's a look at the details of Human Rights Day. So, what is unique about this year? This year, Human Rights Day kicks off a year-long campaign to mark the upcoming 70th anniversary of the Declaration, which the UN calls a milestone document that proclaims the inalienable rights which everyone is inherently entitled to as human being, regardless of race, color, religion, sex, language, political or other opinion, national or social origin, property, birth, or other status. How was it first approved? The General Assembly adopted the Declaration with 48 nations in favor and 8 abstentions. It was proclaimed as a common standard of achievement for all peoples and all nations, according to the UN. Is the Declaration binding? The Declaration, which covers political, civil, social, and economic rights, is not binding, but it has set in motion more than 60 treaties, laws, and other protocols to assure freedoms. How has the day been marked in the past? The day has taken on many incarnations. In 2008, gay rights activists in California urged people to call and gay to work to show support for equal rights. In 2011, after the Arab Spring pro-democracy protests in the Middle East, the day recognized the importance of social media and technology in the battle for human rights. And in a note of coincidence, ex-Chilean dictator Augusto Pinochet, known for atrocities committed in office, died of a heart attack on December 10, 2006 at 91. Is the Declaration well known? The Declaration is considered the most translated document in modern history and is available in more than 500 languages, according to the UN. In 1952, a Human Rights Day stamp issued by the UN Postal Administration received about 200,000 advance orders in decades since. The day has blossomed in popularity, particularly with backers of social causes. And that is coming from USA Today. I will have this posted on our social media sites. So that was a pretty interesting article about
Definitely.
international human rights. I mean, we gotta definitely practice that and be proactive in ensuring that each human being has equal human rights. Well, the ones who deserve it. Let me say that. The ones who deserve it. I'm not going to advocate or support or take it for anyone who's against human rights. So let me get that clear. But yes, this is definitely very important right now, especially.
Yeah, you're right about that. So again, if you didn't catch that, we're on the topic of National Human Rights Awareness. So, excuse me. This is coming from the United Nations Human Rights Office of the High Commissioner, which is www.ohchr.org. Again, www.ohchr.org. It says, what are human rights? Human rights and rights inherent to all human beings, whatever our nationality, place of residence, sex, national or ethnic origin, color, religion, language, or any other status. We are all equally entitled to our human rights without discrimination. These rights are all interrelated, interdependent, and invisible. Universal human rights are often expressed and guaranteed by law in the forms of treaties, customary international law, general principles, and other sources of international law. International human rights law lays down obligations of governments to act in certain ways or to refrain from certain acts in order to promote and protect human rights and fundamental freedoms of individuals or groups. Universal and inalienable. The principle of universality of human rights to the cornerstone of international human rights law. This principle, as first emphasized in the Universal Declaration on Human Rights in 1948, has been reiterated in numerous international human rights conventions, declarations, and resolutions. The 1993 Vienna World Conference on Human Rights, for example, noted that it is the duty of states to promote and protect all human rights and fundamental freedoms, regardless of their political, economic, and cultural systems. All states have ratified at least one, and 80% of states have ratified 4 or more of the core human rights treaties, reflecting consent of states, which creates legal obligations for them and giving concrete expression to universality. Some fundamental human rights norms enjoy universal protection by customary international law across all boundaries and civilizations. Human rights are inalienable. They should not be taken away except in specific situations and according to due process. For example, the right to liberty may be restricted if a person is found guilty of a crime by a court of law. Interdependent and indivisible. All human rights are indivisible, whether they are civil and political rights, such as the right to life, equality before the law, and freedom of expression. Economic, social, and cultural rights, such as the right to work, social security, and education, or collective rights, such as the rights to development and self-determination, are indivisible, interrelated, and interdependent. The improvement of one right facilitates advancement of the others. Likewise, the deprivation of one right adversely affects the others. Equal and non-discriminatory. Non-discrimination is a cross-cutting principle in international human rights law. The principle is present in all the major human rights treaties and provides the central theme of some of international human rights conventions, such as the International Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Racial Discrimination and the Convention of the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. The principle applies to everyone in relation to all human rights and freedoms, and it prohibits discrimination on the basis of a list of non-exhaustive categories such as sex, race, color, and so on. The principle of non-discrimination is complemented by the principle of equality, as stated in Article 1 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. And lastly, both rights and obligation. Human rights entail both rights and obligation. States assume obligation and duties under international law to respect, to protect, and to fulfill human rights. The obligation to respect means that states must refrain from interfering with or curtailing the enjoyment of human rights. The obligation to protect requires states to protect individuals and groups against human rights abuses. The obligation to fulfill means that states must take positive action to facilitate the enjoyment of basic human rights. At the individual level, while we are entitled our human rights, we should also respect the human rights of others. So that's really interesting. And of course, they have different links. They have about us, issues, human rights by country, where we work, human rights bodies, news and events, publications and resources. They have lists for days. Human Face for Human Rights, Universal Declaration of Human Rights, List of Human Rights Issues, Human Rights in the World, and International Human Rights. So, boy, says a lot.
As human beings, we tend to dislike each other, hate each other, cause confusion, have a lot of differences, have problems, have issues, have disagreements, different ideologies, different philosophies, all kinds of stuff, in battle with each other, but it's not helping the world though, with all this hate and dislike and personal issues. Is not solving anything. So I'm glad that organizations and real people are stepping up to ensure the safety of human beings of all ages, races, nationalities, even if it's your gender or sexual orientation. That's definitely needed in the world because there's so much going on,
That's very true. You're right. It is. There's so much going on. That there's so much, as you and I always talk outside of the show, there's so much more that's going on in this world besides the reality shows.
Yeah, true.
And not knocking that.
And social media entertainment. Right. There's so much more going on. That's distraction.
Past that, right. That's just a temporary fix. It's almost like you're putting what's going on in your world, pushing it off to the side,
on
just
the
temporary,
yeah.
Just so you can hear the reality of the have and the have-nots, and Real Housewives.
Get
of
away
Atlanta.
from the real. That's what you want to do,
right? And I'm not knocking anyone, because if that's your twist, that's your twist. If that's what you need, I guess, to get to regroup you, or if you're just looking at it for entertainment purpose, whatever your story is, that's okay. But just also know that there's so much more. There's the Libya. Oh, yeah. There's our other brown sisters and brothers in other countries that's going through.
Kanika Jenkins. I hope y'all ain't forget.
Also, more locally in the United States, Kanika Jenkins, that sister. Her last name is Brown. I can't think of her first name. Where she's
Centoya. I think you say Centoya Brown. I think that's how you say it.
All of our brothers and sisters that we lost here.
How about the Palestine and
right?
The people in other countries getting killed, bombed every day, losing their lives, world hunger. So much going on.
So much, and even locally here in Atlanta,
police brutality.
Definitely police brutality is all over. The homelessness,
man.
The diseases and the mental illness,
man,
and the child trafficking and the organ
trafficking
and
pedophilia,
exactly.
Pedogate. If you research Pedogate and Pizzagate, it's a big pyramid of people who's involved in this whole operation. You going higher, each time you catch one guy is going into other people, so it's real out here, man.
Right. It's so much that's out here. So I challenge you guys as much as I challenge the Chit Chat Chew Show podcast, just our business and ourselves.
I'm up for the challenge. What's up?
Let us, at least for 2018, volunteer at one place. If you can volunteer and do more, that is kudos to you. But I challenge us And that's challenging us too. While you over here acting a fool.
Challenging.
For us to at least one organization where we can volunteer. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to have a serious moment here.
Okay, go ahead.
One organization. You may have already done it. You may already do it. That's great. If you're doing it, follow it up in 2018 and or find a new organization to challenge yourself and volunteer. So yeah, that's the 2018 goal. So that's all I have to say with World or International Human Rights Day. We need to wrap it up because you are really acting goofy right now.
I'm not. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm acting silly. I'm tired at the same time too.
Right.
So no, but you're right though. I mean, yeah, get involved, man. If it's a new organization or it's the same organization or you just need to try something new just for 2018 and start fresh. Try a different organization. Just get involved, period, man. Just get involved with what's going on in the world. Don't tune yourself out from reality because you can't escape it. It's always going to be at your doorstep. I don't care what form it presents itself as. You know, it could be through word of mouth. It could be on TV. It could be in your reality. It could be some experience, anything. So, yeah, you gotta be mindful that you got the good in the world and you got the bad in the world. You can't shut it out. You gotta deal with it head on. You gotta be strong now. And that's what I say to that.
Well, thank you. Are we done with the topics?
Oh,
I'm just asking.
is that an attitude?
Never.
He looks like attitude with the face.
Moving forward again. So now we would like to thank you for listening and listening to the replay afterwards. We're going to get into our social media. So let's start with all of our Facebook social media.
All right, I'll make it quick. So on Facebook, you can find us Chit Chat Chew Show, LLC. Make sure you like us on Facebook. We also have a Facebook group, Chit Chat Chew Radio Show. Make sure you join our group, and we will add you to our group. We have a Instagram, Chit Chat Chew Show, at Chit Chat Chew Show. Make sure you like us on Instagram. We also have a Twitter at Chit_Chat_Chew. Again, at Chit_Chat_Chew. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. We tweet about our show. Get the word out. We also have a SoundCloud. All our past and recent shows is on there. Everything is updated. Every last show we've done. So make sure you go check out all our sessions. Support us. We thank you. Like us. We also have a YouTube. Our YouTube. Subscribe to our channel at Chit Chat Chew Show. Also, make sure you hit the notification bell to get update on our shows. We appreciate you very much. Also, like and comment our videos. Let us know what you think. We also have a Vimeo at Chit Chat Chew Show. Make sure you like us on there. And I'll let you do the rest.
Okay, let's see how my brain is how it's situated right now. So going back to Facebook, we have for our LGBT community, you can like our Lotus Monk affiliate of Chit Chat Chew page. You can like that page on Facebook under Lotus Monk affiliate of Chit Chat Chew. We also have a Be Authentic Facebook.
Yeah, Be Authentic Products Facebook page. Make sure you like the page.
Yes, that's still new and in the making, but definitely like us on that. So we did the Chit Chat Chew. We did the Be Authentic.
We ain't do the
for
Instagram.
The Be Authentic for Instagram.
Be Authentic _products. Make sure you like us on Instagram. Be Authentic _products.
Okay. Did we do Twitter?
No, we don't have a Twitter for Be Authentic.
No, we don't have a Twitter for Be Authentic, but we do have a Chit Chat. We do have a Chit Chat Chew for Twitter.
Well, Lotus Monk, right?
We have a Chit Chat Chew, and then we also have a Lotus Monk.
Well, I did the Twitter for Chit Chat Chew.
Okay,
I was
so
talking
then
about Lotus Monk.
Okay, that's why I asked, did we do Twitter yet?
I said no. I said we did it for Chit Chat Chew, but not for Lotus Monk.
Okay, so for Lotus Monk of Twitter, that's at Lotus Monk Projects for Twitter. So make sure you like us with that. Mm-hmm. You can go on our website, which is www.chitchatchewshow.com. Again, www.chitchatchewshow.com. Okay, has a lot of stuff on there. You can click on the links. Pretty self-explanatory. Not being funny. Hopefully you can comprehend and read. Not being funny, but there are people that can't. Trust me. Yes.
News, music of artists that we had on the show, or just guests in general. All their bio, their social media info, everything is on there.
And I'm not being funny again, but it's real out here. So just please.
I can't comprehend.
Let's make sure that we can comprehend it. It's pretty self-explanatory. It breaks it down. Yes, we have soaps on there as well.
Don't forget that.
We have our large soaps. We have our small soaps. We are we have a few left. If you're interested, please hit us up about the soaps. Look on the website. It gives the prices as well as, and also the ingredients. Some of the ingredients on there are soaps. So that's the website. Oh, also, if you like to be on our podcast, on our show, hit us up. Yes. Yeah. Hit us up.
Yeah.
Business email is chitchatchew_show@yahoo.com. Again, that's chitchatchew_show@yahoo.com. We are open to all. We're open to all. So, but just know, when it comes to
scratching
music,
their head and their eyeballs moving a certain way.
Just know, people, if you're coming with the music or if you're just coming in general, please, please, please. We both look at it, so please don't think one or the other. We both look at it, and we both make conscious decisions. So there is no I in team here. We are a team, collective team. So please come. And if we ask you what times work for you, for whatever reason, if our standard show doesn't work for you, just please be honest with us. We're willing to work with you, but you have to be honest and be willing to work with us. That's how this goes. I mean, I can't say it no plainer than what I'm saying right now. And if we both on both sides don't get back with each other in a timely fashion, we're just going to move forward, because we don't have time to spend long days.
You want to twiddle your damn thumbs.
And I said thumbs. Do our thumbs, and we just don't have time for all of that. Because we are working for 2018, not no try. We are working for 2018 to make sure that we book people in advance. Sometimes things happen and we have to book them last minute, but we have our goals. Just know that. So,
and it's going to be accomplished, believe it.
Exactly. So, hopefully, no, let me not say that. For 2018, we are looking to have bloggers, all different types of bloggers on our show. So this may sound crazy, but I'd rather you tell me you want to do it. Awesome. If you don't want to do it, that's awesome too, because we don't have time to babysit anyone. We're not looking to be babysitted. We don't want to babysit anyone. If you're interested and you would like to be a guest blogger on our show, we're open to different bloggers. Just make sure you communicate. Communication is so key. Yes. We cannot express that enough. Mm-hmm. We cannot read minds. You have to let us know what's what. Effective communication is key.
Everything
Effective listening and communication is key.
It goes along so smooth. We just communicate. It's simple.
Absolutely. So I believe that we touch base on, we put out there all of our social medias. Thank you. We thank you so much again. We can't do it without you. We do what we do because we love doing what we do. And so with that, while you watch the replay, I know that you're going to sit back and you're going to be relaxed and you're going to sip on your tea, your coffee, or a nice glass of wine while you listen to the Chit Chat Chew Show podcast. And always remember, as we always say, make sure to self-care. Cannot stress that enough.
Man.
Self-care is key.
Yes.
Love, respect, and take care of your temple from head to the bottom of your feet. You have one you. Please respect yourself. Please love yourself.
Got to.
Know your worth, as Uno says.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
with that, peace, love, and blessings to you guys. And what do you have to say? Because you need to eat and get off this show.
I ain't got nothing to say. But I'm going to get my retarded ass off this show right now. But I will say you guys have a blessed night. Take care of yourselves.
Be safe.
Be safe. Keep in tune with our show. And also keep in touch with the world. Stay connected.
Don't let nobody steal your joy or your golds.
Absolutely. So, with that being said, I'm out of here. Cheer.
Peace, love, and hair grease.